Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting and amazing Propagandacast from your host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero of defender of the fatherland of till 1v1 own Bocage. The north, it is Clororaa fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Commandant Stalin, and the 12th Tank Corps here with defensive, urban defense, and partisans with a special rifle command start. In the south, it is the 101st Airborne fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, here with the Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier with elite troops featuring stun grenade or concussive grenades, really, stormtroopers, Jägerline for upgrades, Panzer Tactician, and Tiger Aces. There's always a big hearty thanks to my patrons, reporters, wonderful people who want all to support the Propagandacast through thick and thin. Their continued support enables the Propagandacast to keep up its glorious work, so big thanks to all those. Other people can join us from Patreon, or they can donate via PayPal. Links are in the video description. And you're in market for pure and communist fee, there's a link in the comments. Use the code Coh2 as it is written there and get a small part of the sale. And if you're uncertain if you want communist fee or not, there's a technical test coming up here next week on the 11th, which you need to head over to the official Steam page to sign up for there. And then you basically should get a chance there to play on Wednesday. Probably some other days as well. We'll have to see how many days they actually have it out for. But otherwise, that's there. Otherwise, you know, comment, like, share, subscribe. So, Penal Troop Engineer start here for Clororaa. Bit rarer versus the Wehrmacht. Double Grenadier MG42 for the 101st Airborne. And we got Urban Defense then, with Fort Headquarters, line to tank guns, shock troopers, booby traps, and the KV-2 Heavy Assault Tank. The West Side Guns got engineers there. Pioneers in the east. But yeah, no idea how long this test will be, though, so we'll have to see how long they announce it. Hopefully a week, though. That would be nice. Or longer. But there you go. Scout Care for Clororaa, the M3A1. So, east here we got Pioneers and Engineers. MP40s versus Mosin Guns long range. That is obviously not going to be a win for the Pioneers now, is it? West side here, though. 101st Airborne goes in pretty hard in the car when they're going to do MG42 combo there. Looking to really mess with his opponent's early game here in his resource control. Opposite, I think, 80 to some degree, but the Penal Troop opening, which is slightly slow in terms of field presence. Of course, that's why I went for double engineers, but they can't quite as well fight off a Grenadier backed up by an MD42 team. Do have the Scout car out this, of course. It's not impossible that Clororaa might have a trick here versus 101st Airborne, but so far, 101st Airborne is certainly coming in, swinging hard here, Clororaa and the Red Army. Falling off here, not going for the field point here. At least not for now. Pioneers right in the center here. On the south, not the center. Scout rushing forward here. Second Pinto squad there for Clororaa and the Red Army. Grenadiers moving up here to cut off some more points. Moving either to assist. Machine holding up here. Coming the flank for now. Grenadiers spotting the M31. Trying to get a Panzerfaust off here. But the Scout car is quick to weave out of range there of the Panzerfaust. Engineers trying to rush the MD4 cut-off point there. Is instead hit by an MD42 suppressed. Second Penal Troop squad ready here in the south. We got Grenadiers moving up against the Penal Troopers there. The Engineers grabbing a further point here. Pioneers getting ready. Might see Techie up on the first point. Yes, indeed. Grenadiers with the Penal Troopers. MD42 continue to fight off the Engineers by the calf point here. Map situation is a bit messy, but mildly favoured here for 101st Airborne, who has slightly more connected points than his opponent. And even that may not last long as there you go. Clororaa gets the fuel point there. Suddenly sparring ahead here on fuel in terms of sparring ahead on fuel control over his opponent there. Penal Troops up close as the Grenadiers here. SVD-40s versus Cow-Knight TKs. Now mind the numbers. Just the sheer power in that rifle easily overpowers the Grenadiers at the point blank range and force retreat. And there go the two Grenadier squads here. Also one force retreat. Third Penal squad for Clororaa. A heavy committing to that here versus the Germans. And 101st Airborne's early game, while initially looking quite promising, has rather fallen apart. And there goes Sergeant Charger on the retreat. Pav got him, Himmel. Narrowly avoids a white there, but many Grenadiers are dead or deaf. So, bunker up there for 101st Airborne. We do have the tech, like to make an us company. Probably going to happen. Point big sees the Penal Trooper see car points. Well, the Scout car can't grab points on the zone until it's Vetsy 2, though it does gain that passive ability there. So, right now, Clororaa here and the 12th Tank Corps is swiftly moving in there. Sees the most map here in the face of the German army, leaving 101st Airborne here probably not feeling too happy. Medics on the way here for Clororaa and the Red Army. Strafbad, of course, they need a reinforcement soon. Command's being laid down by Clororaa. Of course, looking to enhance his already strong early lead here. Mines is a great way to still make it harder for the German player to get out on the field, in particular the 4-man squads. You know, one mine, half the squad gone. It can really mess up like any attempt for the Germans, like, you know, establish a reconquest of the map. So we'll have to see what happens next for 101st Airborne here. It does have access to these concussive grenades now, though. Of course, harsh realities back then, there was no grenade that was really just all stun, like, you know. These were just pretty much just your standard Model 24 grenade, which did rely mostly on concussive force, which was useful for offensive purposes because you didn't have to, like, worry about, you know, getting hit by fragments from the grenade. Fun fact there. Apparently that was popular with some of the other armies where they pick up some Model 24s as well. But anyways, going to put back to the penal from the centre here. East side here, grab the victory point there, grab the fuel point. Scout car there, pushing back the Grenadiers. As for Clororaa, nothing further is going on here yet in his base. Further tech here, of course that could happen soon. 101st Airborne has been able to re-establish some map control there, secure pretty much everything south of the river or stream. That's more of a stream, not much of a river. There we go. We also got some stormtroopers here from 101st Airborne. Thumbs up. Will it be MP40s? Will it be G43s? We do get some MP40s. No, we do get G43s. Some players are quite fond of equipping the stormtroopers with G43s. Personally, I do prefer them with MP40s, but I don't blame people for wanting to go for G43s with them, as they basically get the Pentagon G43s. But they also have some slightly improved bonuses over the Pentagonese in terms of receipt accuracy. They're actually slightly better in that regard. Plus, of course, you get ambush as well. So the Storms in this regard definitely have some advantages over the Pentagonese in that regard. Machine gun here catching the Scout car in the centre. Gun is pushing northwards here. We'll have to see what it goes for there. Light machine guns, Steve for the face. Who knows? There's, of course, the big question here. Fuel point there. Almost seized here by Deutschland. The Storms there's the engineers. And the engineers are absolutely not equipped for that fight. I mean, 4-man with most of the guns meant for engineering work versus, you know, hardened storms with the G43s and a Carnite TK. Yeah, that is not even a contest. Meanwhile, got 101st Airborne with the 2-2 to help contain his opponent's scout car. Mines going off there, killing half the Stormtrooper squad. Scout car there spotted by the Grenadier. 2-2 almost done. Bit of shots into the side armor of the M301 light scout car there from the MG42. From at the eastern point here, furthering towards the fuel point. And there go, armored car ready here for the 101st Airborne. Ground was some point with the Grenadiers. 4th penal squad here for Clororaa and the Red Army. But it's going pretty hard on the penal troopers, which is not super common, like at least not 4 squads. 3 tend to be somewhat common with those who go for it. 4's definitely not quite brave new world, but certainly pushing it there. Armored car there, pushing back the search needs here, no anti-tank rifles or anti-tank weapons here from Clororaa. Does make it a bit tough for him to deal with the scout car. The 2-2 gun is right here by another mine. Getting good money here by Clororaa. Thumbs up. Armored car roaming up here. Do we have any anti-tank rifles there for Clororaa? Nope. No signs of any counters there. Go Grenadier squad, wiped by a mine. Clorora's mining there is definitely paying off, and there's still many more mines to go. My god, there's so many mines about! Armored car is the Strafbat there, or the Strafniki. Straight for the car upon the east side of the Grenadier. Stormtroopers clashing with the penal troopers here. We'll have to see what 101st Airborne does about the lost Grenadier squad. He replaces it with more Stormtroopers, which I imagine will also be equipped with G43s. Once he gets the munitions, of course. And we'll do get tech there for Clororaa. His engineers there hard at work, setting up the Tanko BB-10 command. 101st Airborne Stormtroopers back on the job there with the fuel point. It's 2 Stormtrooper squads, 2 Grenadiers here. No sign of anything further here for 101st Airborne. We'll have to see what Clororaa does. Fast T-70, fast anti-aircraft tower attack. Or even, like, you know, try and move straight hit for the mechanized armor company here versus 101st Airborne. But I think a T-70 would be really powerful. 101st Airborne has no anti-tank weapons, so he would certainly be quite vulnerable to a fast T-70 here from Clororaa. Well, relatively fast at this time. And could certainly help Clororaa fight a bit better for macro levels on the 1st Airborne. Strap out on the east side. We do get some penalties now here with the PTRS-41 semi-automatic anti-tank rifle. Ground western points here, bit of quiet. Stormtroopers there getting the G43 as well, so he's very committed to those gentlemen. Notice in there for Clororaa, it does appear like he is in fact going to go straight for the mechanized armor company here versus the opponent, skipping the T-70. In fact, he's going for a 5th penal trooper squad. Well, I certainly have seen, like, 5, squad builds becoming more common across the board. I do think I've yet to really witness a 5 penal trooper build. That is definitely something else. Bold, for sure. 2-2, they're about to get knocked out here, but the M31 is also about to head into the explosion zone, and there got the 2-2 here. The M31 also gets finished off here, though, in return. Bit of chaotic fun here, machine gun rider here. Chaos all over the place here. Carpenter squad and 101st Airborne so far is controlling both fuel points quite well, denying his opponent a crucial amount of fuel here. Penals were there on the retreat path here, threatening a lot of trouble. Could have tried for the south charge there, but probably figured he couldn't get the timing right, at which point it would have just been a wasted satchel, obviously. East side here, Stormtroopers with advancing penal troopers backed up by flamethrower engineers, so not looking great here for 101st Airborne. West side here, Stormtroopers with grenadier support now going for the penal trooper by the carve point. Grenadiers grab the victory point on the west here, mines going off here, further casualties, but only one man lost this time around. In the east, the Stormtroopers are pushed back, and here center, who will pull through? The fatherland or the motherland? Looks like the fatherland narrowly gains the edge here, but that may not be for long. Machine and Gewehr, they're catching the news, but the carve point, eastern fuel pump being grabbed by the Red Army. Nothing further here from the 1st Airborne, and all from Clororaa. Pack 40 there from the 1st Airborne, opposite concerned about the possibility, of course, of a T-70 or a fast T-34-6. Thumbs up. Strafpad also using the western fuel pump, but do get a grenade squad here into some heavy cover. Actually, apparently only light cover, due to that particular tree there by the tractor. Mines, more casualties. Also cow that exploded. Well, dead cow that exploded. Don't think you can quite get away with just exploding cows in game that are alive. Imagine the reviews back then. Exploding cows in companies too. I give this game a -10 out of -100. And there's people moving forwards here. Goodness up with the western point here. Huneo versus Engineers, pack following forwards there. We do have a mind about this time for 101st Airborne, and he does, mercifully for his own men's sake, spot the the mine here. He uses the Stormtroopers again. That's 2 squads for the T-33s. That is a lot of bad news for any sort of infantry that isn't equipped with, like, heavy body armor or, just behind a lot of sandbags. So the Engineers are absolutely ripped apart with the Stormtroopers with near surgical precision. Meanwhile, up here, they got the mechanized armor company, Clororaa, and of course, worth noting, medieval surgeon standards. So, Pims they're routed, grab the Eastern victory point back. A lot of back and forth so far between Clororaa and 101st Airborne. 101st Airborne here, and Deutschland taking up. Sees in the center victory point with the Stormtrooper. Grab the other point here as well. So, Clororaa can soon go for the T-34-6. We shall, of course, see what his late game ends up with. Not impossible to see the KV-2 heavy tank. Clearment for the Schlaf 2. And, of course, for the 1st Airborne, I mean, I suppose we could see a Tiger race. Storms with the penal troopers there. Another wave of attacks here from 101st Airborne, looking to throw back his socialist opponent. Massive infantry push here again from Clororaa, with 2 penal troop squads backed up by 2 engineers, including some with flamethrowers. We've also got mines being laid down, even as he's advancing here. Clearly not carrying his opponent, might see it, in fact, that might be the intent. There we go, we do get a concussive grenade here to try and slow down the third assault. Thumbs up. North Econis of the penal troopers there. Strafpad there, right by the Stormtroopers, holding the line there for Deutschland. Clororaa is unable to breach there, at least, but of course, right next door where there's just a pioneer squad. The Minesweeper breaking through becomes a lot more achievable. Machine gun flanked around by the penal troopers here as Clororaa goes in for the glory of the Red Army. Back here for 101st Airborne, no support core yet. As for Clororaa, can soon go for the T-34-6 here. In the center there, we got the Stormtrooper core still added. Close to Vertiny 2, but it gets a nice boost to its offensive firepower there, which of course means these T-34s only become much more unpleasant for the opponent to deal with. There we go. Vertiny 2 achieved. Concussive grenade to try and keep these chaps from joining in. I think they probably bit off just popping a smoke grenade. It's cheaper too. Anyway, so Paul McCoy got that 101st Airborne. Thumbs up. Grenadiers, Stormtroopers sitting out here. Stormtroopers around here. Back at base for Mr. Clororaa. Nothing further is transpiring. Western Point sees versus the Grenadier. Stormtroopers and the Grenadiers attacking the squad quickly rather than disrupting more mines, but still Clororaa is very thoroughly mining a chunk of the map. There you go. Clororaa is going for the T-34 from 6. Very good choice here. Of course, he could have tried stalling out for something bigger like the Kiwi-2, but that would have quite frankly been utterly bananas. And I certainly would not advise that. So there you go. Teams was caught up being 4-2. The Grenadiers and the Stormtroopers that does overall assault no retreat here. As they get suppressed, Stormtroopers out in the open, or Stormtroopers out in the open here are absolutely being ripped apart as well here by the Narbeti 2 Stormtrooper squad with again T-43s. Grenadiers for the Stormtroopers there, backed up with the Engineers. Bad news for the Grenadiers there. Not really engaged, I think 101st Airborne should really participate in, and yeah, he does retreat there, much to lose the Grenadiers. Should have retreated much sooner there, to be honest. He could try and maybe save them with a smoke grenade if he's got the... Oh, apparently he didn't need that. Really close call there, though, for 101st Airborne. And I think in most, so this scenario, so much repeating most of those cases, that Grenadier squad would have been wiped. So that, I think, was a very, very lucky edge case there for 101st Airborne. And I do think you should have tried popping a smoke grenade or something like that, or just retreated sooner. So machine setting up the instant pitch rounds, trying to, anticipate perhaps push here from Clororaa. Though, of course, if he does make the push, that's going to be a bit of a waste. 101st Airborne, they're going for a Panzerwaffen, a Panzerkampfwagen 4.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Workhorse of the German Panzerwaffe. Got the T-34 from 6 minutes out for Clororaa and their army. Got a flank around here. Panther 4's almost done. The Pack 40 is basically in the west, so this is a pretty good push initiative for Clororaa. Troops are pressed them in 32. West side here, skirmish about. They're going to use with Stormtroopers support. They're going for the Pilgrims where they're pushing them back. East side here, though, 101st Airborne's front line collapses like a wet paper bag. And it's rapidly sent reeling. Now we got the Panther 4 pushing in for that T-34 from 6. Great shot there through the hedges. Right through the front line with the T-34 from 6. Pilgrims was there with the anti-tank rod getting ready too. Another great shot from the Panther 4. Pack 40 now back out the west side here, though. 101st Airborne is running through there like a dog in a butcher's shop with no one around. So Engineers got the bind down, then they're close to the victory point by the crossing. Back at base here for 101st Airborne. On a bit of reinforcement healing. As for Clororaa, more or less the same. He'll go for more T-34s. I'll have to see what he does. More mines here. Thumbs up to Clororaa again. Just leveraging all of the missions to lay down a lot of mines. Very sensible choice. Stun grenade there. Concussive grenade holding the Pilgrims. They're pushing them back. Panther 4 shoots the Strafbutt there. Nice bit of suppressive firepower there. Let's bring back in the west. Setting out there. Up north, point being seized for the Stormtroopers. T-34 crashing into a building there. Apparently not quite aware what's going on. Might not even notice it crashed into the building, honestly. In some cases, due to the very claustrophobic confines and a variety of other factors. At times, T-34 crews couldn't necessarily notice a lot going on outside, and in some cases, the case of German crews with very light anti-tank guns, repeatedly firing at a T-34, and the crew just wasn't able to notice it. A fun fact there. Pilgrims on the 5 from the Pack 40. It's all like, the door knockers. Obviously not a powerful anti-tank gun doing that. But anyways, Pilgrims was the Pack 40. And the Panther 4 wrecking their cavalry and the exposed out in the open. Easy target there. We've got almost a full wipe. Comes the Panzerkampfwagen 4. These are the appointments for the Pioneer. We got mines here from Clororaa and the Red Army. Panther 4 sneaking up for another hit here. Nothing further from the 1st Airborne. Clororaa not going for tanks or tank destroyers. Mines setting off there. He does have the command points. I suppose one possibility is now Clororaa is already now dreaming of a KB2 heavy tank here. And obviously, of course, what 101st Airborne's plans are. What's up? We got that T-34 there. Moping about there looking for German targets to overwhelm and destroy. More pioneers for 101st Airborne, by the way, is a very good idea. Thumbs up. Will, of course, help the repairs. And, of course, give some more stuff to grab terrain with. And theoretically, our mines. So far, While Clororaa has been incredibly on point with just mining all over the place, 101st Airborne in comparison really hasn't bothered so far, I think. Like, we haven't seen any telemines, nor S-mines. I do think 101st Airborne would certainly benefit from a few mines here and there. Anyways, reinforcement healing back here for 101st Airborne. Still nothing there from Clororaa. Again, slowly starting to look like it's going to be a straight 2 KB2 move here for Clororaa, which is certainly interesting. He's got like a T-34 and a bunch of penal troopers, one squad of them with anti-tank rifles, and he's going to go use that for like a straight move to the KB2 possibly. East side here going to be, Stormtroopers actually as the penal troopers here. One man down in the face of the multiple Strafbot units. Again, mines here as well. Just very thorough mine there by Clororaa. Mines goes off here as well for casualties here for 101st Airborne, and all the mines just makes it harder for 101st Airborne to push through. There's another good reason having more Pioneers for 101st Airborne, so it's not just another Pioneer squad to repair. It's also another squad to run around with mine sweepers to deal with all these, mines. That is very good here for him. Good shot on the Panda 4, pin flushing 40. Clearly not concerned about the possibility of anti-tank rifle upgrade. They have a satchel on the way there. Charging on that T-34 from 6. 101st Airborne once blocked, but there you go. Gets rammed instead. Clororaa turned the table. He could allow the penals to then finish off the Panda 4. And he loses the pack here to Satchel Charge 2. A bold development here for Clororaa, and absolutely leaves 101st Airborne in a bit of a rough spot here. He did get a wipe on the penal troops in turn here, so bit hard to say who really got hit on that one. Like, this was pretty rough for both sides. That said, what is 101st Airborne's next move? Because Clororaa absolutely looks like he's going to go for the KB2 at that point. Here's the thing, though. 101st Airborne has nothing to deal with the KB2. And, like, Clororaa is, like, a bit of a minute away from that. And I don't know what again, he's planning for. He's going for Tier 4 now. He's going for another Pack 40. But against the KB2, that Pack 40 is going to fall short. Unless, like, he gets absurdly lucky. Or, Clororaa gets absurdly unlucky. So, we'll be interesting to see how this exactly goes, because 101st Airborne is, about to probably have a bit of a rough time. That KB2 heavy tank, the Clement Wishloff 2, which did not really see a large numbers, when apparently never deployed sort of large numbers either. Though, of course, early in the war, they were quite impressive, fearsome due to the, heavy armor that early German armor couldn't quite easily deal with. And while they did, have stuff like the Flak 88 and the Harrods to deal with them, if they could fire armor piercing round, check was also getting up within range and then shooting at them, which at times was also a problem. There you go, mine goes off it, killing several Grenadiers. More mines from Clororaa, also concerned about being charged into his base here. Pack 40, ready. Straffa the Mingham with aim for 2 now, Betty 2, closing Betty 3. Straffa on the flank, we see it just retreats, also very nice flank. In fact, we got a really deep flank here by Clororaa. 2 thumbs up, this was a very nice executed push here on the right side, and use the broader side here. Most players tend to ignore these paths on the far edges of the map here, but Clororaa, being the clever sort he is, didn't. Meanwhile there, Clororaa, very, very close here, and replacing the lost penal trooper squad there. Very good. Again, bit rare to still see so players are committed to that many penal troopers. We got the heavy pan squad for 101st Airborne. Are these going to go for a Panther? He's actually dreaming of a Tiger Ace. Again, he's going to be a bit of a disadvantage, with his opponent going for the KV2 first. Bit of a disadvantage. That's a new squad of the penal troopers, of the Grenadiers and the Stormtroopers, taking some heavy damage here. Could see some wipes even, possibly here. There you go, ace level Stormtroopers. They do get engineers wiped here. Couldn't even see a wipe in the penals from the retreat here. Close, but not quite there. Fortune does at least smile briefly on Clororaa before he just spits right into Fortune's face with that KV2. And there you go, Clement Wishloff 2 heavy tank out here for Clororaa. Got the storms of the penal troopers here. Other squad closing on the east level as well there. It's a KV2 rolling forwards there. I'm not really sure there have been any KV2s around by 1944-45, to be honest. Again, no, apparently a lot were made. And the Serbs just had a tendency just using stuff until, it was worn out. So I don't think they would kept them reserved, to be honest. Anyway, Stormtroopers, they're hitting a mine retreated. KV2 rushing forwards here with a ton of 52mm gun. Charging ahead for the Red Army, crashing through hedges and whatnot. Bunny's about to have a bad time there. Quite a bit of a shockwave there, but no casualties there. 101st Airborne, fairly lucky. But yeah, it would appear 101st Airborne is taking the course. Hello, Lieutenant! There's a really big Russian tank on the front line! Yeah. There's a Tiger Crew, will deal with them. How about something now? Nein, don't you worry. We've got this. Believe in Deutschland. Engineers here for Clororaa. Good idea, of course, to help keep his KV2 repaired, because that will definitely become a priority target for 101st Airborne. Obviously, the Tigers similarly will be a priority target for Clororaa. So we got 313 versus 306.
We are losing territory.
He's almost got the few manpower-wise. He's struggling a bit there. All these penal troopers, of course. And I imagine that KV2 is not exactly going to make things easier for 101st Airborne in assembling the whole 720 manpower necessary to call in the Tiger Race. Tiger Races don't exactly grow on trees. Rive Grenade, Stun Grenade combo there. Interesting choice there by 101st Airborne. Is the KV2's going to go for some isolated grenades here. And Ulrich there gets utterly obliterated by 152mm shell right to the face. Well, we assume it's his face, but really it could have been any part of the body, and you know there's probably not going to be anything left, realistically speaking. So, 101st Airborne there, very close to the Tiger Race now. We're talking roughly half a minute here. Meanwhile, Clororaa is advancing slowly but steadily, not wishing to extend, not wishing to, I don't know, run into a surprise telemine. Though again, it is worth noting, 101st Airborne still hasn't bothered with a single mine, which I'd argue is a bit of an oversight. Mildly put. So, 101st Airborne goes for his own Tiger Race, and now, there we go. So it's going to be KV2 versus Tiger Race. Not exactly the most common of Company's 2 tank matchups. And historically speaking, probably never happened. I mean, theoretically, some of the tank crews could have fought against a KV2, but that wouldn't have been a Tiger tank. That would have been like, you know, in something only like a Panzer III or a Stug. Since, you know, fun thing, they actually, with at least the early Tiger tanks, a lot of the time they'd actually like pick veteran Panzer crews or assault gun crews, in the case, for example, of Michael Vickman, and, you know, stuff them into, like, you know, the Tiger tanks. So they typically, at least initially, use veteran Panzer crews to operate the Tigers. So that's a little fun one there. Got the KV2 moving forwards here for the glory of the motherland. Shoots a 150mm gun there. Grenadiers almost obliterated there. Tiger Race pushing up the east side here for 101st Airborne. Sent in from nearby 505th Schwere Panzerabteilung. Storms out in the open. We also, of course, have Otto Carriers, who is also a veteran crew, although he operated the Panzer 38T, I believe, actually, the Czechoslovakian tank. Almost got killed in one, too. KV2 pursuing the Tiger Race here. Bouncing up the pins from the front. The Tiger Race is a bit, bold by Clororaa. Though so far, he does seem to not get horribly punished by it so far. More anti-tank rifles up here. Good shot from the KV2 in the Tiger Race. Almost down to half health. Great shot there from the Tiger Race. Definitely want to repair that. He may also want to bring in some more pioneers. Of course, he can, at least short-term, also rely on the vehicle crew repairability on the Tiger Race to quickly fix up the Tiger tank. And Clororaa here goes for a 6th Penal Trooper squad. That is definitely not your average Soviet meta game. I mean, most Soviet players will rarely, if ever, go for 6 squads, and certainly not 6 Penal Trooper squads. But Clororaa is definitely going there. Huddy Storms will protect the Strafbar there with the Grenadier support here. KV2 falling a bit back as well here. And there you go, the 6th Penal Trooper squad has arrived here for Clororaa. 101st Airborne, I still think would benefit a bunch from some mines, you know, could help maybe deal with the Penal Troopers a bit, or at least catch the KV2, at which point it would be a much easier target then for 101st Airborne's Tiger Race. From that west side here for that victory point there. Cover slowly being shot here by the Tiger Race and its mighty crew. Almost wiped there. Gonna use the west versus the Penal Troopers there. Rushing to the western point. Shoots, misses the penal troops out in the open there. Lucky for Clororaa. And there you go, Coh2's going to flank the Tigers here. But misses! A thunderous, roaring miss. And certainly leaves no mistaking for 101st Airborne. There's a KV2 nearby though. Pinch, they're nearly avoiding getting a wiped here by the Tigers. Stormtrooper combo here from 101st Airborne and the Großdeutschland Panzer going to be short. KV2 fires the Stormtrooper, wiping out the entire unit here with a single shot. Tigers shoots but bounces off the KV2. Second shot though goes through here and it is close to VT2. East side here, Stormtrooper about the Penal Troopers here. Looks like another deep flank here for Clororaa. Thumbs up. Pioneer sticking close to the Tigers. Tigers turning on that KV2. Shot right for the side armor. Another shot down the KV2. Almost hits on that Tigers here. But doesn't pursue here. Clearly concerned there might be things hiding like mines. And can't fault 101st Airborne for not wishing to risk a Tiger AC. Like if he loses it, that could very well be GG. I don't fault him at all. But there you go. Southern flank again. Really well executed. 101st Airborne basically not having the forces to deal with that at the moment. You can't imagine because most of his attention is on the Tiger Ace and keeping it, in tip-top shape. VT2 achieved, increasing accuracy and range, and also giving access to the spearhead ability, which is pretty good. Actually allows the Tiger Ace to see farther, shoot more accurately, I believe, but does lock the turret to a more narrow arc. On the other hand, it also gives the Tiger Ace suppression on its whole machine gun. It's actually quite a good ability, really. Strafbart there's about to receive the full wrath of Deutschland there. Tiger Ace shoots, but misses. Close call there for the Pims. There we go. Almost a full wipe there. Plus mines causing casualties. In the center, was a big throng of Strafbart there. And Guinea's also packing up at the Tiger Ace, falling back towards the center here. KV2 being fixed up here by Clorora's overworked engineers. Tiger Ace and Deutschland go to the Pims. They're bunched up. They're going to be a great target, except the Tiger Ace misses again. This Tiger Ace, I definitely think, is not the one that's going to be made any great documentaries about. He was Germany's first Tiger Ace, Otto von Kleinhausen. KV2 moving against the Tiger Ace here. Good shot there for the KV2's frontal armor. Needs to being shot up at the Stormtroopers. 31 kills, so definitely getting some kills in. Then needs to flanking about. They eastern reach upon falls to the hands of Deutschland. Tiger Ace pursuing here. The KV2 here. Clororaa looking to quickly build some distance between it and the Tiger Ace. He may, of course, at this stage, consider bringing like something like an Initiative 5 tank destroyer if possible to back up his KV2 versus the Tiger Ace. I think that'd be a really strong investment here for him. Plus, of course, in case 101st Airborne brings any armor to assist his Tiger Ace. Maybe a Panther 4, maybe a Stug, maybe a Panther, maybe a Sturmpanzer. We'll have to see. Tiger Ace, though, dashing ahead here for Deutschland. 16 kills, slowly approaching Vetching 3 and I guess the hero level? Legend? I don't quite want to say, call that, Ace, Vetching 3 Ace. And simply I just called it Ace, so you highlight they're really good, but with an already Ace unit, what do you call that? Anyways, that is a really big penal to a blow up in front of the Tiger Ace. It's going to be his Storm's like to wiped here. Nasty blow there on the first Airborne. Tiger Ace shoots, misses. The horde of Pims continues. Tiger Ace the focus on the KV2. Very close to VT3. The KV2 though is close to Veterancy 2. Pioneers falling back up northwest. They obviously realizing they're going to get absolutely annihilated if they stay around for too long. And there you go. KV2 achieving Veterancy 2 here. Getting some nice bonuses there. Tiger Ace to fast back. So close to the ace level here. Grenadiers being absolutely overwhelmed by the sheer numbers of the penal troopers here. Almost wiping out the Grenadier squad here before 101st Airborne can retreat it. No replacements here. East side here. Mines going off. Tiger Ace being repaired by the Pioneers once more. And we do get a Panther here from 101st Airborne. Prioritizing the KV2 here as the main threat. I imagine thinking, the Tiger Ace is just going to keep the infantry at bay anyways. If it can hit. Shot bounces. Panther 1/3 of the way done. Keep some blob going forward again here. Tiger shoots, misses, smoke deploy, blitzkrieging as well here. Otto von Kleinhausen is at least able to realize he needs to get some distance in between him and all these Soviets. Panther almost done here for 101st Airborne. Shot bounces. Penal blob just retreats. Panther's right around the corner for 101st Airborne. Chlorraa meanwhile not really bringing additional armor. This could very well be 101st Airborne's advantage there. And there you go. Panzerkampfwagen 5 arrives there and it's going to drive right past this Panther Turm. As the Germans apparently had a lot of Panther turrets laying about, so we'd use some of them for fortification works like that. Other times, though, they just used Panthers. They just couldn't repair and just stick them down as improvised Panther Turms. And in some very few cases, the ones that got those were actually able to get the Panthers operable and return them to service, which led occasionally some units that weren't supposed to have Panthers to actually have Panthers. Coh2, they're being fixed up. Fun fact. Panther there at the ready for 101st Airborne. T-34 from 6 Clororaa. I was kind of expecting an H-35 here, but I mean, obviously T-34 from 6 is not going to be terrible either. Tiger Ace, though, is very close to Veteran 3. 101st Airborne, though, could also still do with some more infantry. Maybe not the Stormtrooper squad or Panzer Grenadiers. We'll have to see. Tiger Ace shoots, misses. T-34 from 6 almost done. Panther final move here for 101st Airborne. Tiger Ace keeps up the pursuit with the KB2. There we go, and it achieves legend level. Second shot misses. Panther charging forwards here. Panther fires off here. And he is there. Blast it into dirt. Penal blob charging into the ace. Tiger Ace, legend Tiger Ace, all the way. That seems like a really bad idea because, again, it's accurate, but now it has a really good rate of fire. 28 kills here. Penal was there, opening up the gunners, they get a wipe then retreat in the front of the Mighty Ace, and there you go, now there's a hit. A huge cluster of dying Penal troopers there, so 88mm high close shell goes off them to Tiger Ace, or Tiger Legend pushes forward for Deutschland, straight for the T-34 from 6 back up with the Panther here. Charging here, the speed is incredible. The T-34 from 6 desperately trying to get away here. Almost got the T-34, and there you go. The Panther scores the kill. The KB2 is now in some hot water as well as it has suffered a damaged engine here. And 101st Airborne, I think, is primed to knock it out with the Panther Tiger Legend combo here. Panther's moving forward. Good shot there. Almost got the KB2. Penal troops, the engineers rushing in there. Anti-tank right from the way there. Panther giving distance. Legend here. Otto von Kleinhausen turns on the Strafbad. Penal's got on the western point here. Gonna use the Strafbad, almost taking out the entire unit there. Chlorraa is definitely struggling a bit here. Pap stress is setting in. Exhaustion having to manage 6 penal triple squads. I don't know. Slip-ups are happening here. Yeah, but the results wise turning to just blocking up the penal troops rather than handling them more effectively as used previously. Could be exhaustion. Love to see. Tiger Ace moving in here. Strafbad under fire. And he's still being mauled by the penal troopers there. Tiger Legend there shoots, misses. More pioneers here for 101st Airborne. Panther shoots, misses. Tiger Ace though. This time scores a dramatic hit on the penal troopers there. KB2 going for the kill here. Tiger Tank or blitzing back here. Penal troopers being utterly mauled out in the open. A wipe from the Panther machine gun. KB2 gaining the ace level. Tiger Ace backing off here. Penals are pushing forwards here. Misses with the ace here. Of course, that can quickly and dramatically change. Their good shot from the ace and the KB2, but it's not enough. KB2 keeps forwards here. Tiger Ace fires another shot there before the KB2 has a chance to shoot. MD4 to what up. We got the Pack 40 fighting action a bit again here. Engaging the KB2 there. Panther could try and flank around. Grenadiers storms from the move here. Could still do with more infantry, honestly. Truth be told. Ace pulls back though. Penal troopers falls falling back here. We got a lone understrength penal trooper squad here spotted by the stormtroopers and the grenadiers, and the assaults are a very predictable immediate execution of the offending third infantry. Tigers, they're being repaired using the self-repairability and, of course, the Pioneers to, well, speed it up so they can quickly join the fight once more.
The sector is at risk.
Another T-Fed for the Clororaa. Lost some points there. There we go. Tiger Race setting out once more. Panther moving forwards. Straight for the KV2. Backed up with the Panther. Almost got news wiped here. Blitzing ahead for Deutschland. KV2, they're half health here. Not looking great here for Clororaa. We got the penal moving up here. All equipped now with anti-tank rounds. But at this point, he's down just 3 squads of penal troopers. Down from 6. Still no spear motor from 101st Airborne there. Pushing at the penal troopers. Tiger is falling back. Got 46 kills on it. Pioneer is about to get work repairing it again. I suppose we could just pop self-repairs once more. I still think 101st Airborne will benefit from a bit more infantry. Maybe another Stormtrooper squad to get Panther. It's just anything, really. There we go. Tiger Race is being swiftly fixed up. People going forwards. Stop. Tiger Race shoots, misses. Otto von Kleinhaus does it again. And again. There we go. 49 kills. 51. It's pretty rare to like see a Tiger Race actually get this far here. Blitzing, deploying smoke here. Machine on the flank here. Panther also there. T-Fed force knocked out. KV2 also charging in, not fully repaired here. Clororaa is going for a killing blow here. Tiger Race hits the mine. This could be the end here of Otto von Kleinhaus. T-34 from 6 knocked out. Explosions go off. Machines about to get saturated here. And it is gone, ladies and gentlemen. KV2 going for the AC. Shot bounces. Pack turning around here. Panther diving up here. And the ace is down. The tank is kaput. Panther getting saturated here, but keeps up the KV2. And actually sets it off behind the KV2, causing the KV2's engines to get damaged. Pioneer charging the pins. They go. It's abandoned. The KV2 is abandoned. Oh, God. But no, before we get, I'd like to see if it's going to be grabbed or what. Clororaa concedes, surrenders. A loss here for the Red Army, a victory for Deutschland. A bit of a not usual match here. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell friends, tell family, but don't tell me. This is Imperial Legion. Cheers. Thank you all for watching. I'm sure tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.